The events begin in the midst of the final battle between humans and the tribe of demons, where 5 heroes confront the demon emperor Samolis at a summit known as the Pillar of the Moon Beast. This great war reaches its climax. The demon emperor is defeated, but the 5 human heroes pay a heavy price in return. The swordmaster Ranvi, the celestial archer Faya, and the flawless knight Helmalovi appear, while one hero named Grun tries to heal the sage of the light of holiness. Using healing arts, Sufka asks him to stop trying, asserting that his efforts are futile. Helmalovi adds that the wound inflicted on Sufka by the Demon Emperor's final strike is not something Grun can heal in his exhausted state. Grun passionately shouts in anger, commanding them to be silent, but the wounded Sufka asks him to stop trying to save her, confirming that she is already content with this end. Faya expresses her regret that despite their victory, they could not fulfill their promise to return together. Suddenly, the voice of the Demon Emperor echoes, affirming that what Sufka said is correct, and that this is the end. Grun is taken aback to hear the voice of the Demon Emperor, and quickly turns toward the sound, but does not see him around them. The Demon Emperor declares that this is his voice and his last words in this great battle. A bloody energy bursts from the heroes' bodies, and they realize they have been deceived. They discover that whoever kills the Emperor is absorbed into his body and blood. The Emperor clarifies that this is his true power, which he prefers to call his evolution. He announces that those who defeated him deserve to be new bodies for him, and that he will use them all in his grand mission to annihilate all forms of life in the world, especially Grun's body, as he is the strongest human in the world. Helmalovi then calls out Grun's name, trying to escape the grip of the Demon Emperor before he is consumed, but he fails. Helmalovi tells Grun that he would rather die at his hands than become a tool of slaughter in the Demon Emperor's grasp. The Demon Emperor attempts to sway Grun from this ridiculous idea by threatening to kill his comrades, reminding him that Helmalovi is his only remaining family. But Helmalovi cries out to Grun to hurry and do it because he cannot go on any longer. Grun faces his brother, who is being consumed by darkness with his sword in hand, as Helmalovi taunts Grun, asking why his sword is trembling and if he cannot proceed to kill him. The Emperor explains that resistance is futile, as Helmalovi's right side has already been absorbed. After that, Helmalovi regains control for a moment to tell Grun that he is happy his hesitation is not due to weakness. Then Helmalovi lunges at Grun's sword, piercing his chest and ending his life, as if he wanted to spare Grun future regret, telling Grun that only the cruel and deadly monsters deserve such power. Helmalovi then reveals Grun's inherent ability, Sea of Corpses and Blood, which allows Grun to gain permanent power for every life he takes. Faya screams Grun's name in panic as he grips his sword tightly. In her final moments, Faya urges Grun not to let Helmalovi's sacrifices go to waste, while at the same time, Ranvi takes his last breath as well, and asks Grun to do what he must, entrusting him with taking care of his sister. Grun then kills Faya and Ranvi, showing signs on his face, symbolizing the 3 souls he took. The voice of the Emperor mocks him, asking why he did it, explaining that the power drawn from 3 souls was only enough to free his right hand. Grun replies that 1 hand is enough to solve the final problem. In a surprising move, Grun raises his sword to behead him, surprising the Emperor, who sarcastically asks if this is his way out. The Emperor screams in anger, ordering him to stop testing his patience. In the midst of this struggle, the Emperor grabs Grun's sword before he can behead him with Grun's left hand, which the Emperor controls. Then he destroys the holy sword, Sora. The Emperor then confidently proclaims that no attack in the world can now harm his invincible body, but Grun boldly responds, questioning if the Emperor truly believes that what can be destroyed by the sword, he himself cannot destroy. Then, Grun thrusts his hand into his chest, shocking the Emperor, who screams Grun's name, as Grun crushes his heart with his fist, destroying it without hesitation. The Emperor then admits that he underestimated Grun, describing him as a man born for slaughter, who continues to kill until his death. As Grun's consciousness fades, he thinks that this is his end, taking the Demon Emperor with him, but he feels regret that he could not eliminate the entire demon tribe or save any of the people he was supposed to protect. This was his final regret. After 5 years, a group of demons holds a memorial for the 5th anniversary of the Emperor's death. It is clear from their conversation that they have captured 4 human girls and 1 demon as a sacrifice. Their leader gives a speech, vowing that the sacrifice of the Emperor will remain in the memory of the new generation of demons, then announces the start of the ceremonies. The ceremony involves first slaughtering the 4 pure victims, then spilling the blood of a demon as a sacrifice to the Emperor. At this moment, the demon victim, who who is actually Grun's consciousness, awakens and wonders where he is and how he did not die. The leader grabs him and shouts in his face not to move, calling him trash and the weakest among demons, unworthy of even the name. Grun looks at himself in shock and disbelief, realizing that he has transformed into a demon. The leader tells him that being presented as a sacrifice is the greatest honor one could receive. As the demon leader lowers his weapon, Grun escapes the blow at the last moment, resulting in his bound hand being severed. The leader screams in anger, believing that Grun has ruined everything with his move, then wonders if he did it on purpose. Grun then gives the leader a sharp look and asks if he still does not recognize him, causing the leader to freeze in shock and begin to question Grun's true identity. After that, a series of past memories begin to surface, where we see the same leader in the past, on a ship, ordering the recruits to work hard at rowing because the four lords are watching. The memories then unfold, a surprise attack launched by a fleet of sea demons in the year 312 of the new era. A battle erupts suddenly so that no human arrives in time to intercept the fleet. Facing this threat, one man stands alone to stop the demon army. Many know him by various titles, including the Great Healer of the Order of Mercy, and also the Insane Demon Slayer. As the Demon King, his booming voice echoes, "Soldiers, hear my commands." The events then quickly return to after that battle, where the leader reports that everyone is dead except for King Shu. A summary of the battle's results is displayed, showing that 3 of the Demon Kings were killed while King Shu survived. The leader then sees Grun standing over the corpses of his demon comrades, his body covered in their blood. In another scene, the leader remembers how Grun could easily dismantle demons by targeting their joints. Returning to the present, Grun realizes that his ability Sea of Corpses and Blood has reset to 0. When the other demons attack him during the ceremonies, Grun resists and kills 9 of them with a single blow. Grun notices that these demons are extremely weak, and that killing 9 of them granted him very little power. Then his inherent ability is explained again. His strength permanently increases with each life he takes, with the amount of power gained depending on the strength of the target killed. Grun grabs one demon who screams in pain, begging him to let him go. Grun then approaches the 4 women presented as sacrifices with heavy footsteps, his eyes glinting with a mix of sadness and rage. He then tries to use healing arts to heal his severed hand, but is shocked when his hand turns into a monstrous and terrifying shape, with snakes emerging from it. In a moment of horror and denial, Grun realizes the frightening truth. He has not been reborn, he has embodied into the flesh and body of a demon. Grun is filled with anger and disgust towards this race, which he considers a disgrace and detestable. Finally, he declares that this race has no reason to exist except to be killed by his hands. Grun could not process what he saw. His eyes widened in shock and his heart grew heavy with unbearable bitterness. A wave of nausea surged through his body before he choked and vomited. One of the demons Grun had captured and tortured threatens to torment him until he screams like a human before killing him. Then the demon roars, vowing consequences, describing him as the weakest of demons. Grun, however, sank into silence, questioning internally why he ended up in this state. While the demon thinks that Grun seems different from what he was before, the demon decides to be harsher to frighten Grun. Then Grun lunges at the demon, ending its argument by tearing its body in half. After that, Grun accepts his new fate, believing that as long as he can continue killing demons, there is nothing to complain about. After finishing off the remaining demons, Grun remembers hearing them say that 5 years have passed since he defeated the demon emperor. Grun decides that he must first search for a place to settle and investigate the current state of the world. Grun recognizes the skull of Yuan Shan, realizing that it is on the surface where he fought a previous battle against this massive creature. Grun observes that later generations of demons have built a castle on Yuan Shan's bones. Then a wide shot of the colossal skeletal structure of Yuan Shan and the castle built on it appears. Grun then finds a cave he previously used as a temporary shelter, and after confirming that it is free from any demonic activity, he decides it is a safe place to hide. Grun lights a fire inside the cave and sits beside it, then recalls an incident from the past when he was traveling with his hero friends, crossing a river of molten lava while carrying his companions on his shoulders, enduring the heat as if it did not affect him. In this memory, Grun sarcastically criticized his companion Faya's sewing skills after she made him clothes out of leaves, and when she defended herself by saying that resources were limited, it made the rest of the team laugh. The memory then fades as Grun looks at a small wooden statue of one of his companions, then carefully places the statue next to the others that represent his comrades, wishing he could have done better back then. Grun then throws his wooden statue into the fire, as if he wanted to erase his trace among them, and then watches his statue burn in the fire, as if his old memory was fading with the flames, leaving behind a new beginning. His thoughts then return to the present, pondering how many people the demons have destroyed their lives over the past 5 years. Then Grun decides that after becoming a demon, he must use that to destroy them from within, and he begins to tap into the memories of the demonic body that he inhabits. The memories reveal that this body belongs to a weak demon of snake bloodline, who was a slave in the Yuanshan area and was constantly abused according to the prevailing law of might is right among demons. Then a more shocking memory appears of a demonic teacher giving a lesson on the state of the world to a class of demons. Grun is astonished by the idea of education among demons, as he thought their nature consisted only of a desire to kill, being mere tools of war created by the demon emperor. Grun wonders how the demons managed to develop a civilization and establish a presence on Earth in just 5 years. Grun blames himself for what happened, believing that the reason is that he was not strong enough in his past life to solve all the problems. He then vows to himself that in this new life, he must become stronger than he was before, and that he will stop at nothing to fulfill his promise of hunting and killing all demons. The scene then shifts to the training camp for new recruits in Yuanshan Zone Number 2, where Grun listens to a demonic teacher explaining the current situation in the Soul's continent. Through this explanation, Grun understands that in the 5 years following the death of the demon emperor, demons led by Shiyu established 5 major courts and continued to war with humans, leading to a stalemate where each side controls half of the territory. The teacher then shifts to talk about innate talents. The teacher explains that innate talents are abilities that a person is born with naturally. He adds that demons, like lower humans, each possess a special talent they are born with. The teacher clarifies that using any skill from their innate talents, whether from humans or demons, requires consuming part of the cursed sealing power buried in their bodies. Then he explains that the power of the seals appears as symbols arranged from weakest to strongest, from the first seal to the 6th. As for seals that exceed the 6th, which are called transcendent, discussing them is considered pointless for the group of beginners. The teacher boasts that he himself is the bearer of the powerful 2nd seal, while all the new recruits are at the 1st seal level. At that moment, Grun realizes that he is currently also at the 1st seal level, and that snake blood demons are rare, so he must learn about his new innate talent. The teacher continues his explanation, pointing out that the 2nd seal is a critical point where one can awaken the power of their innate talent. He explains that awakening the power of the innate talent becomes possible only upon reaching the 2nd seal, indicating that it is the ultimate move and unique technique of each individual. It is their final move or their special technique. Then a new talented demon arrives, and others make way for him in fear, while this new demon violently pushes Grun aside. The surrounding demons whisper that this new demon is a genius at the 2nd seal level and that they cannot afford to anger him. The newcomer then looks at Grun with contempt and asks who allowed this trash to enter, while the other demons describe Grun as worthless garbage. The teacher orders them to shut up and for Grun to be returned to the trash. After that, the teacher announces the start of the practical lesson and begins to explain that the power of the seal and innate talent do not entirely determine the outcome of a battle, but skill, information, tactics, and adaptability are equally important. Everyone is alerted that their next mission requires careful observation and analysis, ultimately leading to identifying the creature's weak point. The new talented demon shows remarkable enthusiasm, finally seeing something that piques his interest. The teacher reveals a massive bound monster, explaining that it is a howling demon, a type of demon created by the emperor in his early years, attacking everyone randomly due to its low intelligence. This is the last remaining 1 out of 10 similar beasts. Grun finds the lesson boring and decides to leave, thinking that there is no further useful information. As he departs, he regrets that he cannot kill all demons to enhance his skill, sea of corpses and blood, as that would cause too much commotion and bring him trouble. But suddenly, the howling demon moves, rushing fiercely toward the surrounding demons. However, the teacher grabs the chains binding the monster around its throat, thinking to himself that, although the beast possesses the power of the 3rd seal, its only weak point, its throat, is under his control, making it unable to use its power. Suddenly, the howling demon begins to speak, shocking the teacher. The monster starts mocking the teacher, addressing him as little brother and saying he mistakenly believes he is safe due to controlling its throat. The beast then describes the new generation of demons as fools and reveals that it has been pretending to be stupid for weeks to complete its mission, and that eliminating the current demons is just an addition to its task. After that, the monster breaks its chains and attacks the teacher, killing him in a single blow. The demons tremble in fear as they watch their teacher fall easily, as if his power meant nothing before the creature. The howling demon then charges through the ranks of demons, attacking them fiercely and killing a large number of them mercilessly. Amid the chaos, the new talented demon gets injured and decides that the priority is to escape rather than waste its secret weapon in this situation. When the talented demon tries to flee, Gron prevents him. The talented demon falls to the ground, glaring at Gron in anger and asking, "Why are you blocking my path?" Gron looks at him with a fearful and terrifying gaze, as if his eyes carry a silent threat. The howling beast then notices the talented demon's attempt to escape and turns toward him, causing him to panic and realize he must use his secret weapon before the beast reaches him. But suddenly, the beast freezes in place, sensing a strong and frightening aura emanating from Gron. The beast starts to feel puzzled about why Gron is not afraid of him, and begins to wonder if Gron knows his true weak point, but quickly dismisses the thought. The beast justifies to himself that it is impossible for a new generation demon to know its weakness, since all its 9 siblings died many years ago. The beast then convinces himself that Gron is merely pretending to be unafraid, but Gron coldly warns him that if he takes another step, he will end up dead. The beast scoffs at the threat and prepares to unleash its power. Gron remains steadfast in place, unfazed by the beast's threats. Suddenly, the ugly howling demon flees, analyzing the situation and reading that the confrontation is fraught with risk for a minimal reward, and that only a fool would accept such an offer, leaving the talented demon in shock. Gron extends his hand toward the talented demon, but the latter looks at him suspiciously, wondering about his intentions. The talented demon rudely refuses the help. Gron coldly extends his hand, grabs a piece of the talented demon's cloak, and wipes blood off his hand with it. The talented demon bursts out in anger, calling him a filthy peasant. After that, the other demons encircle him, astonished that Gron managed to scare the beast, demanding to know the trick he used. One of the warrior-class demons tells them that a slave should not hide anything from them. Gron calmly explains that he once read in the Human Tactical Guide Against Demons that malicious howling demons do not have a fixed sight, and all one must do is stand still so they cannot see you. The demons recognize the book as authored by the mad demon killer Gron, and one commented that Gron understands demons better than they do, while another expressed relief that this terrifying person died 5 years ago. Based on this new information, they decide to hunt the beast for the reward. Gron sarcastically thinks to himself, revealing that he lied about the wicked demon's weakness, and hopes the other demons will go kill themselves believing his lie. Meanwhile, the talented demon feels anger towards Gron for what he sees as arrogance and indifference. A concerned follower approaches the talented demon, asking about his condition, but the talented demon does not admit to his weakness. Instead, he nervously explains that he is just tired and wants to sit for a bit, assuring that his legs have not yet reached a state of complete paralysis. After that, the talented demon orders 5 of his followers to chase Gron and kill him in the most humiliating way possible. One of the followers assures him that Gron's death will be satisfying. After a while, Gron feels that he is being hunted, so he stops and tells his pursuers that they have followed him long enough, and it is time for a confrontation. The 5 demons appear, and one of them creates a thick fog to cover the area and prevent any outside interference. One of them orders his companions to hurry up and kill Gron. Inside the fog, the demons discuss that the innate talent of snake demons comes from the ancient snake lineage, warning each other about its venom. However, they underestimate the threat, believing that Gron's venom will not be strong due to his weak sealing power. After they decide to split up to search for him, they hear one of them scream in pain, saying that Gron's snake bit him in the stomach. Then the demon explodes, releasing fog that covers his companions. The others quickly realize that there is venom in the fog itself, and they begin to scream in pain as it affects their eyes. Gron reveals that he will use these 5 demons to test the capabilities of his new innate talent. He employs thermal vision to see clearly in the fog, then uses the snake strike to launch attacks resembling a snake with his arms. Gron is impressed by the tactical options provided by his new lineage compared to his past life. The red demon uses its strength to push the fog away from him. After the fog dissipates, Gron faces the last 2 remaining demons, who mock him and claim he is nothing without his poisonous fog. The red demon showcases its power in an attempt to intimidate Gron. Gron looks at the red demon with eyes reflecting his impatience. Gron charges at him and defeats him with a single strike that pierces his heart. The other immediately surrenders, pleading not to be killed. Gron asks why, and the demon says he was just following orders from the yellow-haired talented demon. Gron finds this reason insufficient. The terrified demon suggests taking Gron to the secret cave of the talented demon, which surely contains valuable treasures. This suggestion piques Gron's interest as he believes that leveling up his Sea of Corpses and Blood ability will help him reach the second seal and awaken his power called Snake Transformation, which requires a rare treasure as a Pasavodovit, sacrifice for evolution. Gron agrees to go see the cave. The demon leads Gron to a waterfall and tells him that the yellow-haired treasure is hidden in the cave behind it. Gron pushes the demon who led him to the cave, shocking the latter with a trap of lethal arrows piercing his body. Coldly, Gron says, "Thank you," mockingly before disappearing into the depths of the cave. Elsewhere, the leader of the Yuan Shan area, a demoness named Skull Crusher, receives a report that the wicked howling demon caused chaos in training camp number 2, and then fled in fear from a snake blood slave. Skullcrusher finds this news intriguing. Inside the cave, Gron finds only a small box. At that moment, the yellow-haired talented demon suddenly appears and snatches the box from Gron's hand, shouting at Gron for daring to touch his things. The talented demon attacks, but Gron easily deflects his attacks and breaks his leg. The talented demon is shocked by Gron's complete transformation in personality and strength. He realizes the reason why his 5 followers could not handle Gron. Due to the tight space and his injury, the talented demon realizes that he cannot fight Gron in this confined area, so he decides to retreat. He uses his innate talent, Stonefeather Armor, to grow wings and fly away. Upon seeing the flying demon, Gron remembers another flying demon from his past. Gron launches from the cave with immense force, seemingly igniting a strong rage within himself from this memory. The talented demon is shocked to see that Gron has managed to reach him. Gron catches up with the talented demon and attacks him with multiple fierce blows, but the talented demon kicks Gron away, causing him to fall into a nearby lake. The talented demon mocks Gron, saying he has fallen into the Yuanshan Sap Lake, filled with countless blood-sucking bugs, which begin to attack Gron. The talented demon seriously informs Gron that those blood bugs in Yuanshan have an insatiable thirst for blood, and their numbers are immense, countless as bull hairs. He adds that he will enjoy watching them eat Gron's flesh until only bones remain. The talented demon thinks to himself that the essence from the powerful bull remnants in Yuanshan is enough to form this deadly lake, and if Yuanshan were still alive, they would have already wiped out the humans. Gron began fighting the insects, showing tremendous strength. As he continued to battle the insects one by one, the talented demon was astonished by Gron's combat power. He mocked him, saying that his strength meant nothing against the endless number of insects. Gron used his snake-like ability, launching multiple quick attacks that killed the insects in droves. Despite this, the talented demon continued to ridicule his speed, labeling him a dirty farmer. The talented demon kept taunting Gron, saying that his snake-like attacks were as slow as an earthworm, and told him to wait until he died slowly. Shortly after, Gron eliminated a large number of sap-sucking insects, their bodies falling from the sky, and then Gron attacked the talented demon directly. The talented demon was surprised by Gron's increased speed. Gron thought that even though he had killed many insects, their strength was so weak that it only raised his power level to the second seal. However, he believed this power was enough to handle this annoying bird. Gron appeared before the demon and threatened that he would split the top of his skull the next time he blinked. The demon considered this madness but was shocked by Gron's immense speed. The talented demon became angry and unleashed his secret weapon, the Imperial Demon Arrow, saying he found it with his sister when they lived near the sea and believed fate had written for him to use it at this moment. The arrow struck Gron, and dark, snake-like energy coiled around his body, surrounding the arrow charged with a purple lightning strike, and he fell into the depths of the lake. The talented demon worriedly questioned the true situation, wondering if Gron had indeed been hit by the fierce thunder arrow. Gron's sister arrived and asked him anxiously if he was okay. He told her he was fine, and that he had just faced a thief trying to steal their belongings. He raised something precious, explaining that it was supposed to be used to heal her eyes, and that he would protect it with his life in the water. Gron's body reacted strangely to the arrow, as he did not remember the arrow having the ability to distort the body. He wondered why his body was reacting to the arrow this way. Gron had a sudden moment of realization, as though the puzzle pieces that didn't fit had finally come together before him. A huge snake appeared before Gron, coiling itself into a figure of infinity. Gron realized that his body, tempted by the rare sacrifice of the arrow, had instinctively triggered the awakening of its power. Gron considered this evolution to be fortunate. Then the ancient serpent lineage power was revealed, and the snake skin began to shed. A massive explosion of energy erupted from the lake. The demon and his sister watched as bubbles disappeared from the water's surface, thinking that Gron had definitely died, while he told his sister that they could finally relax. Suddenly, lightning struck the sky. The atmosphere changed, the sky covered with thick dark clouds, and rain poured heavily, flooding the ground while thunder boomed loudly and fierce purple lightning flashed in the sky. The talented demon froze in place, his eyes widening in astonishment as he watched the dark lightning violently tear the sky apart. A massive spark of lightning struck the lake, causing a violent explosion that echoed throughout the area, and waves rose high. Ground's sister noticed something jump from the flash of lightning. When her brother asked her where it was, she pointed out that it was right there. The talented demon looked and couldn't believe his eyes when he saw Ground standing on a statue in the middle of the water. Ground appeared in his new fierce form like a thunderstorm in the middle of the lake, surrounded by an aura of violent purple lightning. The talented demon and his sister stood in shock under the heavy rain. Ground calmly told them he made them wait for their deaths. Then he corrected himself, saying it was his mistake, which angered the talented demon as he charged at him, shouting in his face not to be arrogant and calling him a dirty farmer. Ground easily deflected the attack while injuring him at the same time, sending his opponent flying into the air. The talented demon screamed in rage, accusing Ground of deceiving him. Ground appeared behind him and ripped off one of his wings, thinking to himself that an opponent of this level was not enough to test his current abilities fully. The talented demon fell into the water. Ground's sister rushed towards him in fear and concern, her eyes filled with panic at what had happened to him. The dying talented demon cursed his weakness and wished he were stronger. Fear for his sister's fate after his death pushed him to unleash his latent power. As a huge yellow energy exploded, Ground noticed this transformation. While his sister realized that her brother had finally awakened his own power, the Feather Rock Shield, determined not to be a burden any longer, she decided she couldn't let him fight alone. She unleashed her ability, the Eyes of the Dominant Demon, summoning a massive water monster. The siblings cried out, announcing their readiness for a decisive battle that could lead to life or death. Her brother unleashed his technique, the Seismic Arrow Rain, and the duo launched a devastating combined attack on Ground. Ground stood firm against the double attack, prepared to face them, surrounded by purple, thunderous energy, and then shot towards them at full speed. Ground skillfully dodged the feather attacks launched by the talented demon. He then approached the talented demon and kicked him in the face. With the powerful kick, the talented demon was propelled into the air and distanced himself significantly from the battlefield. The monster summoned by the talented demon's sister approached, attempting to devour Ground. Ground used the Thunder Snake Strike technique, unleashing a massive serpent-like attack of purple energy that easily defeated the monster. The talented demon saw this perfect opportunity and decided to use the corpses of the insects as cover to execute a surprise attack. But Ground noticed this plan, acknowledging that his opponent had some tricks up his sleeve, but Ground responded to his attack using his purple energy. At that moment, his sister used her ability, Strengthening the Devil's Eye, to enhance her brother's attack, transforming his technique into an improved technique called the Returning Sky Drill. The talented demon noticed that Ground's seal power was decreasing rapidly. Assuming he was trying to defend with all his might, he shouted confidently that this strike could not be blocked. Ground acknowledged that his opponent's attack deserved praise and was indeed uncontainable, which was why he had no choice but to completely destroy it. The confrontation ended with the brother and sister falling into the water, seriously injured. The dying talented demon tried to give his sister a small bag, asking her to take it and flee, but she refused to leave him behind. Ground arrived and stepped on the talented demon's hand that held the bag. The talented demon pleaded with Ground to return the bag, explaining that his sister's eye disease required her to consume fresh human eyes to avoid losing her sight. Ground told him that this was a problem that could be solved by simple healing arts. The talented demon replied that good healers were rarer than human eyes. Ground told him that because of that, many innocents had lost their eyes. The talented demon's sister abandoned the treasure and pleaded for mercy, asking Ground to take everything and leave them alone. Suddenly, the rain stopped, and Ground asked the talented demon a question. Did those people plead for mercy when their eyes were plucked out? The sister of the demon was shocked and remained speechless. Thus, Ground demanded an answer of yes or no. The sister of the demon admitted she had forgotten. Ground concluded that he had been overthinking it. Despite the presence of civilization and emotions, the essence of demons remained unchanged. They had only moved from harming people to harming them for their own benefit, considering life valueless and seeing harming others as natural. After that, Ground contemplated that the stormy form he had obtained was his greatest gain so far, but he realized that using it consumed a massive amount of seal energy, so he could not use it freely at this moment. Elsewhere, a demon found the bodies of the brother and sister and reported to their leader. Their leader, the Skull Crusher, appeared and announced that it seemed an uninvited guest had arrived in her territory. Skull Crusher ordered that from now on, she must personally investigate any strange deaths of new talented individuals. Meanwhile, Ground walked in the forest. When he encountered Skull Crusher, she asked him about his identity and what he was doing there. Ground told her he was looking for some wild fruits to take and cultivate. Skull Crusher remembered him and recognized him as the slave she had heard about, who had frightened the monster before. She told him there was something more important now, threw him to the ground, and pinned him down with her foot, saying she had been craving fruit pie recently, and he had to find some good fruit. Then she leaned towards him and vowed that she would cook a delicious dish from it if he didn't. Ground used this closeness to scan her seal energy. He realized she was at the 4th seal level and was of the defensive type, possessing great power similar to that of his previous companion, Faya. Ground analyzed the situation, considering himself now a demon focused on speed, which gave him an advantage against strong opponents, but he lacked effective means to counter defensive types. Ground sadly thought that if he could kill this 4th seal demoness, his ability, Sea of Corpses and Blood, would see significant growth. However, he realized the gap in their strength was enormous, and most importantly, he didn't know her weaknesses, making his chances of winning exceedingly slim. Even so, Ground wondered how he could resist the urge to kill her. Meanwhile, Skull Crusher searched the innate talent encyclopedia to determine the talent used to kill the 2 demons. She ruled out the talent of electricity storage, since the marks on the body didn't correspond with that type of electrical current. Then she read about the talent Sea of Corpses and Blood, which increases its user's power with every life they kill, but she dismissed it as impossible. Ground decided he needed to find a way to increase his strength to a level where he could kill her with a single surprise attack without her noticing or suspecting anything. The scene shifted, and we see 2 demons pushing a cart, where one warns the other that the leader will kill them if she finds out, but the other reassures him that the place is well hidden and that she won't find them. Ground watched them from afar, thinking that this well-hidden place was perfect for him to safely increase his power. Ground reached the entrance of a cave, where a guard stopped him and asked for the password to enter the black market. Inside, there was a bustling black market. Ground entered and tossed the guard's head into the fire. Ground heard some demons talking about how difficult it was to get passwords, lamenting the old days in Yuan Shan, where they could buy humans at any time, but now, everything was secret. A vendor offered morning steel, a top-grade material that could make sword techniques several times stronger, but a customer questioned its usefulness, saying he had never heard of a blacksmith who could shape this steel. Another vendor offered seal power potions made from the hearts of 2-legged creatures. One demon commented that their leader would skin the vendor 10 times if she discovered this smuggling, while another expressed admiration for the goods, believing the trip was worthwhile. A demon wondered why the leader had banned the trade of all human products and slaves 2 years ago. The other replied that she did it under the pretext of conserving resources, believing she might have lost her mind. Ground concluded from this abnormal behavior that the leader was likely planning something. A merchant announced the arrival of new human goods, stating that their prices were reasonable since they were all blind except for the first one. One customer got angry and accused the merchant of trying to deceive them with defective goods, while another added that he heard about a brother and sister who were plucking out human eyes, concluding that this merchant must have profited from them first. The merchant tried to calm the crowd, assuring them that he would sell this batch at a discount. Ground stepped forward and announced that he would buy them all. The merchant mocked him, questioning whether he had any money. Appearing completely broke, Ground offered to trade them for the Fierce Thunder arrow, stating that if it wasn't a fair deal, the merchant could consider it as if he had said nothing. The merchant recognized the arrow and asked Ground in a whisper if he meant the weapon of the boy with yellow hair. The merchant orders his assistant to take the humans out while he speaks privately with Ground. The humans are called and ordered to exit. A blind boy falls on the ground, fumbling for something he dropped when he tripped, and is then forcefully pulled outside. The guard laments his luck because he had been planning to keep one of them for himself as a meal. The merchant then asks Gron if he is afraid the yellow-haired boy will find out he stole his treasure, to which Gron admits he is eager to get rid of it. Suddenly, Gron attacks the merchant and brutally tortures him. The merchant tries to escape with all his might, but Gron pulls him back inside. He then locks the room, and after a while, blood seeps out from under the door. After Gron kills the merchant, he leaves the room and kills all of the merchant's followers in the market. Outside, one of the demons orders the humans to comply and make no noise, threatening to cut out their tongues and roast them. Then, Gron suddenly appears and kills the guards in an instant. Gron thinks that he is not completely weak now, but notices that the counter has already completed a cycle. A terrified little girl witnesses what happened and considers Gron a devil among demons. Suddenly, a notification appears indicating that the fortune delegation has failed to activate. Gron remembers that this delegation is rare and has negative side effects. It cannot be controlled voluntarily and has a chance to activate automatically each time the counter completes a cycle and moves to the next number. Gron looks at the 2 remaining children and gives the blind boy the thing he dropped. The blind boy confirms that this is their possession and takes it from Gron. Gron orders everyone to follow him. The girl asks if he will hold the rope that he is using to lead them. Gron throws the rope on the ground, explaining that he doesn't like to see people being led around. Later, after Gron heals the human's eyes, one of them excitedly screams that he can see again and enthusiastically thanks Gron, calling him the great benefactor and expressing his amazement at the presence of a good person among them. Another man scolds him for his inappropriate talk with the benefactor. The second man apologizes to Gron, explaining that his companion is still afraid of the yellow-haired demons and cannot speak properly, asking for his forgiveness. Meanwhile, the small boy thanks Gron for helping them find their belongings and healing their eyes, but Gron tells him to be quiet. The girl asks Gron why he saved them from demons while he himself is clearly a demon. Gron simply replies that he did it because he wanted to. The girl is surprised and puzzled by his answer. Gron looks at her sternly and orders her to be silent because the adults are busy. After that, Gron sits down and thinks about how to move them, while the girl considers telling a joke to lighten the mood, but the joke isn't funny. The only one who laughs at the joke is Gron. The girl is very happy that he laughed at her joke, but suddenly, snakes coil around the humans that Gron saved, and Gron tells them that he was laughing at them, instructing them not to trust another demon, no matter what happens. After that, the snakes bite them all, except for the girl, who holds a snake and tells Gron that she is not afraid of him and knows that he says this to make them distrustful of demons. But the girl is certain that Gron is a good demon, and that is why she trusts him. After all, the humans fell asleep because of the snake's name, except for the girl. Gron asks the girl what she will do now. The girl tells him she wants to come with him. Gron tells her he does not need unnecessary baggage, but the girl replies that she is a blacksmith and therefore has value. After that, the girl introduces herself and says her name is Sora. As soon as Gron hears the name, he asks her if she is Alexius's granddaughter. Sora says yes, and asks him if he knows her grandfather. Gron replies that they were acquaintances back in the day, and that he met her when Gron was about 17 or 18 years old. Gron thinks to himself that he held her before when she was small. After that, the scene shifts back to the past, where Alexius meets Gron for the first time. Alexius tells him that he does not forge swords for 2 types of humans, those who kill their own kind and those who kill the innocent. Alexius says that Gron smells of blood and refuses to make him a sword. However, Gron tells him that Sister Thea sent him, and that Thea told him that Alexius would be the greatest blacksmith, and that Thea said Alexius forges a sword not cursed from the metal of the dead. When Alexius hears Thea's name, he trusts Gron because Thea is a good person, and as long as she trusts Gron, she wants Gron to be a good human. After that, Gron presents the statue of the King of Mercy that he gave to Sister Thea and tells Alexius that he wants him to use it as a guard for the sword. Alexius tells Gron that he must be patient because a good sword takes time to make. The scene then shifts to the time Gron comes to pick up the sword. Gron finds Alexius amidst the snow, holding a baby, and asks him if he finished making the sword. Alexius tells him that the sword is by the door. Gron goes to pick up the sword and finds the word Sora written on the sword's guard. Alexius tells him that is his granddaughter's name. Gron asks him where the girl's parents are, and Alexius tells him that they died. Alexius says that there was a group of demons that attacked the city and killed everyone in it. Alexius asks if Sister Thea and his beloved also died at the hands of the demons, and Gron responds that yes, they all died because of the demons. After that, Gron carries Sora and says that her name will be with him on the sword as he kills all the demons. Then, a group of demons appears, and Gron pounces on them, slaughtering them brutally until he kills them all, standing atop a mountain made of their corpses, vowing to kill all the demons. The scene then returns to the present, with Sora telling Gron that her grandfather told her about him, but asks if he looks like the demons, and why he looks different in age. Gron replies to her not to worry because it is a long story, and considers himself to have taken care of his skin. After that, Gron asks her how the demons captured her and brought her here. Sora tells him that this is also a long story, but she will not return until she forges the strongest sword to kill the demons. After that, Gron writes a note for the 3 other humans to see when they wake up. He writes in the note that he is the Vampire Knight, and that he saved them from the demon, and asks them that when they wake up, they should head east until they reach the borders of the kingdom of Ilivia. After that, Gron carries them while they are sleeping to another place. After a while, the humans wake up and read the note, rejoicing that the vampire knight saved them. Then Gron returns to Sora and tells her that he brought the sardines and some other stuff. The girl shows him that she is a jeweler and tells him that this was easy for her, but unfortunately, she tells him that the only mine for the holy metal, which is the strongest metal for forging swords, is occupied by a tribe of demons. But Gron pulls out a piece of holy metal for her and tells her that he found it on his way here. After that, Gron asks her if she knows how to forge weapons using the holy metal. Sora responds that she is one of 3 people who know the method. Gron asks her who the third person who knows the method is besides her and her grandfather. Sora tells him that the third person is the current Demon King. Sora explains that the current Demon King refuses to forge swords from holy metal for the other demons, and has only forged 2 swords for himself, stating that currently there are only 6 swords in the world made from holy metal. After that, Gron leaves to continue his hunt. Then the scene shifts to the Yuanshan area, the hot spring of the commander, where a demon reports to the commander that there are no survivors from the black market below. The commander orders that the supervision of the human trade markets be tightened and commands that the bodies of the demons be hung in the middle of the city for everyone to see the consequences of disobeying orders. She states that if breakfast turns out bad tomorrow as well, she will kill the cooks. Then the scene shifts to 2 demons talking about the murders of the geniuses that have been happening for a while. One demon tells the other that the only explanation is that there is a demon with a seal level of 3 or 4 who can hide his sealing power and disguise himself as a demon of a lower sealing level. At that moment, Gron hears them and conceals his sealing level from the 2nd level to the 1st. Gron says that demons have become more cautious. Suddenly, a group of demons gathers around a dead genius demon, and they say that over the past year or 2, many genius demons have been mysteriously killed. Gron watches the scene in surprise and says he hasn't killed that demon, wondering to himself if there is another predator killing demons. After that, the scene shifts to Gron walking through an empty village. Suddenly, Gron stops and looks behind him, seeing a mysterious person appear. The mysterious person lunges at Gron, and Gron dodges the blow and counters with a strike to the mysterious person's abdomen, but Gron's wrist breaks from the force of the mysterious person's defense. After that, Gron breaks a pillar, causing water to fall on the mysterious person to distract him. In an instant, Gron quickly moves behind the mysterious person and lunges at him. However, the mysterious person grabs Gron's hand, but Gron unleashes purple electricity from his hand and shocks the mysterious person. The mysterious person raises their sealing level throughout their body to withstand the attack, throwing Gron back, who is surprised by the person's strength. After that, Gron quickly escapes. The mysterious person reveals themselves. They are the Skull Crusher. After that, the Skull Crusher mutters to herself that Gron is a dangerous person and wonders whether to cut off his head at that moment or turn him into her pet. After that, Gron returns to the cave to find Sora, but finds thick smoke coming out of the cave, and Sora tells him that she forgot to build a ventilation system. After that, Sora tells him that she forged a sword for him the size of half a hand because she expected that Gron isn't very strong right now.